Hello everyone, welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host Tricky. None of the other boys though, they're stuck at work, but I'm joined by Dandenong Stingrays boys. You're going to have to help me with your last name there though, Mitch.
Szybkwoski.
Szybkwoski, yeah, and Finn Emile-Brennan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. And Corey, I guess. We're stuck with him again.
I actually had a crack at your last name last night, Mitch, and I did say it like that, didn't I?
Yeah. Did you though?
Yeah.
You stood there for 5 minutes trying to figure it out.
Because I wanted to get it right. So I did say it first, and I was like, nah, it definitely is that, but I didn't say it'd definitely be that, though.
Yeah, so with footy in school, how's that been tossing and turning between the two?
Yeah, I found it challenging at times, but other times I found it pretty easy. Because at the start of the year it was just 4 games for Stingrays, and then made the transition over to obviously school footy, and then at the end of the year came back to Stingrays. So it was a pretty easy process.
Finn?
Sort of juggling both of it sort of gets a bit hard with year 12 and stuff, but sort of as the year goes on you sort of get more used to it, sort of try to find time to sort of get both and be able to, be sort of able to juggle the two at the same time.
Yep. Now, Mitch, you started your juniors at Beaky. What's your first memories of football?
I think just playing with your mates and having a lot of fun is definitely the main thing.
Is there a certain game that stands out to you maybe early on?
One that stands out would probably be under 13's grand final when we won the premiership.
Best song?
Yeah, I was.
And Finn, you started at Rye, then went to Mount Eliza, I believe.
Yeah.
What's your first memories of football as well at Rye?
So I was pretty lucky when I was at Rye. Didn't lose a junior game of footy, and we won 5 flags in a row. So
not bad.
It was a pretty good run there.
0 best songs?
Oh, there was one, all right. One, all right. That was probably my first ever memories of playing footy, so it was good.
Now, going into like the interleague stuff, how'd you guys find like the obviously SCJ, then Mornington part of it? Yep. How did you find the interleague? It starts probably under 13s and 12s. That pathway.
It was pretty exciting. Obviously, it's sort of a goal you set out. From when you're a young kid playing, and then to obviously make the side was pretty cool. You get to play with all the other good players within your league, so it was pretty exciting.
For myself, it was a bit different. I was injured in the first sort of year that we did interleague, so was still able to be sort of part of the group and sort of helped out on game day, but didn't get the opportunity to play. So it was a bit different, but it was still just a good environment to sort of go from local footy to then that next step.
And then transferred to, would have been V1, am I correct? How did you find the V1 when the two came together?
Or
3, yeah.
It was good sort of change, being able to sort of play with boys that you sort of never have before and sort of get to know different people. Like, for example, I get to know Mitch for like I never really would have because he lives so far away, but being in that same sort of region, it's good to sort of expand your friendship groups and get to know new people.
And then going into Stingrays, how does that process happen? Like going into meeting new people, then the cuts, is there pressures in going into that, or did you guys just go out there and enjoy it really?
I sort of just went out there and enjoyed it. Just put my best foot forward to try and make the side, and was lucky enough to do that. And then obviously meeting new people again. So it was a good experience.
Probably the same really. Just sort of setting little goals along the way and ticking them off, and lucky enough ended up making the under 16 squad. So that was sort of a big step, and just getting to meet those sort of new people, and it's good.
Yep. Now, obviously, you probably played mid probably your whole life, pretty much. Yeah. Have you always been a halfback, or?
Nah. So majority of my career I've been on a wing, and this year I've been moved down to halfback. So bit of a change.
How have you liked that move?
It's been pretty good. Sort of allows me to experience sort of more time with the ball in your area. Being on the wing, you're sort of only in the game sort of half of the time. So being down back, it's a good sort of change for me.
Still no defending.
Still can't defend, which is a bit of a work in progress, but yeah.
So more of that attacking, setting up all the play.
Yeah, that's sort of my role.
Now, going into the first season, how did you guys find the whole Stingrays first season going in? Obviously, it's a whole new system other than like juniors and that, coming up against better players around, AFL and Victorian sections and all that type of stuff. How'd you guys find it? More difficult, like pressure, or how'd it go?
Yeah, to be honest, the pre-season I found it pretty hard. Obviously with like the running and then doing skills and stuff. I found it pretty difficult. But then, as I got older, I sort of got used to that sort of training.
Yeah, probably sort of the same. It's sort of a big difference going from not really doing a proper pre-season to getting into a program like the Stingrays where you're sort of training 2-3 times a week over summer. It's sort of a bit of a change, but sort of a change that you need to adapt to and sort of be prepared for in the future.
Now, Corey, you can comment on this too. What's the difference, or all of you can, what's the difference between like a junior footy or even like senior footy club's pre-season program to a Stingrays program?
You go.
I'm not super sure. I haven't really had the opportunity to be at a senior club yet to sort of experience their sort of pre-seasons, but I'd say they'd be pretty similar in the fact that you're sort of training multiple times a week and a lot of running and stuff. So, Corey, got anything?
Obviously, like junior footy, there's no real pre-season at all. You just rock up, have a kick. And then, like I did 16s pre-season and then a few senior pre-season, and they're pretty similar. Probably more skills done at Stingrays. Not more about running and stuff at seniors and more nuffies, obviously.
Now, moving on to the next season, how did you find, so you go to Caulfield Grammar, how'd that come about, Mitch?
So I got approached by Barry Rollings there. So I sort of went through the process of, filling out forms and stuff, and then was lucky enough to get accepted to have an interview at the school. I had an interview and then, found out that I got accepted, so I moved there in year 10.
Now, take me through, was it daunting first stepping forward for that interview, walking into a big school like that?
I was pretty nervous. I didn't really sort of know what to expect or, what they were going to ask me. So it was, pretty daunting at the start. But once I got going, it was, it was fine.
Did you find much difference between the two, like the school footy and the Stingrays footy? Did you find much different?
I just found that, Caulfield Day, really focused on their school, but then they're also focused on their, sporting side as well, whereas at my old school at Berwick, I think some kids didn't really care about school as much as the kids at Caulfield, they're both good schools.
Too cool to come to the Ville though. Try it out. Got accepted. Boris would have loved to see you get drafted. Bit of a muppet.
Now, obviously, moving on, you played under 17s Vic Country, I believe, as well. How was that for the first carnival?
It was pretty cool. Obviously, set a goal for myself to try and make that Vic Country side and was lucky enough to do that. And then to play with, all the boys from different NAB league teams. It was an awesome experience and, you make a lot of new friends from that experiences as well.
Yeah, but then going into this season, you both played in the under-18s Vic Country. How was that?
It was sort of a goal that I sort of thought it was a bit out of reach at the start of the year. Sort of ticking the little ones off on the way, and sort of once it started to creep up, I thought there was something I really wanted to do, and was lucky enough to make the team. And it's a very good environment there. Like all the boys are sort of aspiring for the same things as you. It's pretty good. And then you're with all the other people from country Victoria, and it's a big region coming together. So you sort of get to meet people from sort of different places and get to know them a bit better.
And you, that same?
Yeah, definitely the same. And just the level of football itself, it steps up to a whole new level, just the speed. The players are, hard-working, don't really miss targets. So, it's a good step up.
Yeah, and your name. Except the big name.
Hey?
Except the big name misses a few, doesn't he? My seat.
And obviously you played in the Australian Academy as well against the Collingwood VFL. How'd you find that game, that experience?
It was obviously, pretty nerve-wracking. I didn't really sort of think I had the ability to actually make the side. So when I got the phone call and found out, I was actually, pretty surprised, but grateful for the opportunity that I'd been given. So I definitely took it with both hands and, tried to get as much out as the program as I could. Heading into the game, I was, definitely very nervous. But, once I got out onto the field and got my hands on the footy. Sort of settled down, and then just played footy.
Lots of handballs.
I remember we counted that day, wasn't it?
10 touches in the first half, I think it was. All handball.
Now, obviously, moving on more to the NAB League stuff, Mitch is described as a big-bodied midfielder. What's your skin folds like, mate?
I'm not too sure. I don't think I want to know.
Big bodied.
Average 25 in the NAB League this season. Did you think that set up a good chance for you to get drafted high range, like first round and that type of stuff?
I thought I had a pretty consistent year. I wasn't really worried how many touches I got. It was how much impact I can have on the game, and bring my teammates into the game as well.
Yeah, and obviously, Finn, you averaged 22 touches across it. Do you think that move down to halfback allowed you to get more of the ball and showcase more of your foot skills?
Yeah, definitely. I sort of felt it allowed me to free myself up more, even though it being a defensive role, they sort of wanted me to be that attacking sort of halfback and use my ability of my speed and my skills to sort of, show what I can do. So that sort of move for me definitely worked out. Yep.
Now, and Corey's definitely told me to ask, have you been going down to Beaky to meet with Mitch, or is there another reason?
No, me and Mitch just normally catch up every now and then up at Beaky, so it's good.
Is that true, Mitch?
Not true at all. I think he's lying.
It's got a little teddy bear down there. Cuddle buddy. Nothing more.
No, strictly friends.
Now, have you talked to many clubs yet, Mitch, if you can say, and what type of stuff comes up in when you talk to them?
I've been lucky enough to speak to a couple of clubs, and sort of the questions that keep popping up are just about family and school, how you are as a person, what you think your strengths and what you need to work on. Those are probably the main questions that keep popping up.
Have you had any weird questions yet? Because I know Mac, who was on very early in the podcast, said he got asked what that night he takes the bins out.
Not that I can think of. No real weird ones, but one was who's your favourite Instagram follower that you follow? That's probably the weirdest.
How's your Instagram account going?
I've been locked out of it at the moment.
Oh, that was a good one. Beat that up well.
And then obviously you're going to the National Draft Combine, you're going to the State Combine. How excited are you for that?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's another great opportunity to showcase running ability and sprinting and jumping and stuff like that.
So probably the same. Just even though it's not as long as the national one, just sort of the ability to be able to show my off-field sort of athletic capabilities and be able to show that sort of. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and if you were to describe yourself as a player, what would you say? And was there someone you can compare yourself to in the game? If someone was to sit down and ask you, what type of player do you think you play like? Who would you say?
I'd sort of describe myself as someone who likes to get into the contest and feed the handballs out, and then try and also get on the outside and use my kicking ability. Someone that I like to watch is someone like Clayton Oliver because he's pretty good in the contest and then gets used on the outside as well.
I'd probably describe myself as sort of an outside running carry type of player with sort of good skills and able to be able to hit up forwards or even just up the ground. Players I sort of base my game off would be sort of a Lockie Whitfield or Adam Sard, just that running sort of off half back and good skills.
Now, if you guys do get drafted, is an interstate move open on the cards for you guys? Are you guys happy to move interstate, or some people are hesitant in that?
I'd definitely be happy to. If I get on the list, I'd be happy over the move.
Yeah, same. I'd be happy to make the move. It's been a dream of mine for as young as I can remember. So if I had to make the move, I'd be happy to.
Now, Connor sent through a message, and he's a massive Essendon supporter. So he wanted to ask, if you guys got drafted by Essendon, would you be able to sort out for him to meet and greet Sam Draper?
Oh, definitely something would be on the card today, yeah.
I'm sure he'd like that. And obviously, moving on to it, what do you think is your competition and moving on to the pre-season, how you set yourself up for that?
I sort of just, at the moment, just trying to train for the combine, and then I'll have a couple of weeks off then, and then get back into running and gym and stuff like that to hopefully get myself on the AFL list, and then just try and prepare for that.
Big body mid, you don't need gym.
Yeah, I'd probably be the same as Mitch. Just
You need gym.
big time. Just keeping on the track until the combine, try to get as fit as I can, and then after that, a few weeks off, and then get in the gym a lot, and sort of just keep running and preparing for pre-season, whether that be VFL, AFL, whatever sort of comes.
Yep. And then obviously, what was the grand final like? I've got to ask it. The loss. How did it feel? And what was it like to it's a bit touchy subject, I guess, but like, how was the experience playing in the grand final? How disappointed were you with the end result?
It was definitely sort of hard to sort of swallow after that first quarter. I think we were down 32-0. Sort of a long way back from there, but sort of just had to hold your head high and sort of keep trying and sort of try to perform the best you could and hopefully get the team back into the game. But sadly, that sort of didn't happen for us, and we ended up losing 2 in a week with the one to Vic Metro, I think 6 days later. So
heading into the game, I thought all the boys were pretty up and about, really excited to embrace the opportunity that we had being in the grand final. But I think Sandy were just too good on the day, and they just got off to a good start, and sort of we couldn't wrestle the momentum back. And then after the game, I think all the boys were pretty disappointed because we thought we could have done a lot better than what we had produced. But that's footy.
Now, of all the hype, I've got to ask, how good is Will Ashcroft?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
Can find a lot of the footy.
Very, very good at football.
But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on, and I hope you go well, and I hope you get drafted, and if that, we'll probably stay in contact and get you guys back on. So cheers for that, and thanks guys for listening, and see you next time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.